Hello everybody, today we're doing a tips and tricks video for Mannequin VR. Let's just get into it. I'm going to start off with what route you should take for every map and on which team. And then we'll get into the nitty gritty stuff.
Generators activated.
Okay, so for excavation, you're going to want to head straight up these stairs. Ignore that place. I see so many noobs go that way. Just a huge waste of time. Takes you literally nowhere useful. You want to come up here, go through this hole, and then just run straight past A. When you're here, you'll be able to scan all of A, and you'll get here before the aliens will, so you'll know if they're coming here anyway. And you'll probably also know if they went to C. If they didn't go to C by the time you get here, then you can probably assume that they're going to B, which you can get to by just dropping down through that door and going up this ramp. And then if you haven't scanned them by now, then, well, you just wasted a bunch of time, but it doesn't really matter because they're not doing anything. Or they're stupid. And you're not going to have to worry about them much anyway, because they don't know what they're doing. Then you just want to come through to spawn, just in case they're making a bunch of bodies placed down here for whatever reason. And then you can just loop around back to A. And then that's kind of just what you should do every single time. I wouldn't waste your time trying to go over to B from spawn, because they usually never really go there, I'm gonna be honest. And alien team's a bit more complicated for this map, because there's a bunch of different good ways to go. Okay, for alien team, you can either go up here, straight to A, which I wouldn't really recommend, because that's where the agents are usually gonna be. The agents will be right there by the time you make it to here. So you're probably just gonna get shot if you go to A. At least if your opponent knows what they're doing. But you could go this way. I would say never go back that way, because if an agent sees you go that way, they can just point their laser over here, and then obviously they'll be able to catch and shoot you by the time you want to escape. So you're just trapped if you go that way. So just don't do that. You're gonna get stuck there, and there's not really a point in trying to escape downwards, because the agents can also see all of this too. You're just gonna lose if you go this way, right? So just avoid that back area, okay? And then if you're coming through here, you better be going to the generator, or if you know your opponents aren't very good, they're probably gonna be walking their way all the way up here. So you could probably just get them that way, which works surprisingly often. Anyway, next route.
Generators activated.
Okay, the next route is straight through this middle cave, which leads you straight to the agents. This one is for when you're trying to go for the kill really quickly and end the match. You just come through this cave and go up this ramp, and you'll be able to hear the agents from here unless they went that way, which is also a huge waste of time. They should never go that way. Don't do that. But you just come through here. The agents are probably going to be through there, because they shouldn't come here and there, right? If they do, then, well, you'll know it before they can see you. So there's that. But they'll also have scanned you by the time you're trying to get behind them. So it's pretty easy to know if someone's coming this way. So do this one at your own risk, because this one's pretty difficult unless you're good at the game. So, yeah. But very quick way to get the match over if your opponents suck. So, and it leads you straight back to A as well, if the A agents are not here. Okay, next route. Okay, for the last route, and I'm gonna be honest, this is the safest route you can go if you're not too sure of yourself in terms of killing the opponents. You just go straight to B. It's really quick. You can get here without making any sound whatsoever. And you also need to be pretty close to B. They're not gonna scan you until they pretty much get across that bridge if you're draining the generator. So they'll be green until then, and even if they aren't, they're probably gonna think you're at C. Of course, unless you have good opponents. So yeah, but I mean, huge generator. This is the biggest generator. It's got 2 floors. And look at this place. It's just massive. Goes all the way back there. That guy's floating on the railing. Wow. Okay. There's this whole back side of the generator. It's really big. It's just a huge generator. It takes up so much of the map. Look at this place. It's just gigantic. There's an elevator there too. Basically, this entire section from this bridge to right here and to that cave, right? Just barely, like to the opening of that cave. Down here, this is all the same generator. Just a huge map. Gigantic generator. No idea why it needs to be this big, but it is really easy to confuse the agents sometimes. But someone good enough with their scanner, if they're standing here and it suddenly goes green and you were just at the generator, they're gonna know you went that way because, well, you can't have gone that way. Their scanner would still go off. But yeah, it's a pretty safe route. You can block off this door really quickly if you have your teammates helping you. Even if you don't, you can block the door off really fast. There's a bunch of bodies pretty much everywhere. Downstairs is also pretty cramped. You can hide behind these desks. There's a wall here. Could go here or something, I don't know. Just do random stuff. Whatever gets you the win. Just overall a really big generator. Yeah, safest route on this map, and that's pretty much it for this map also. So I think, yeah, let's go to Tomb next. Okay, now just like for excavation, there's only really one route you should ever take on this map, and it's this way. Just go this way, super fast, way faster than doing that, because, well, you have to open a door, and waiting for that's annoying. So you just go up here, go up these stairs, and there's this nice little hole above A that you can shoot through. Very nice. Use that one all the time. Very dangerous to go to A as an alien on this map. You should really never go here unless you have plans to block off the spots for seeing into the generator room up here, because you can't really get the agents if you're down there. Having the low ground is never a good idea. You just go through here. If they're not at A, then you'll be at B. They're usually at B. They're pretty much always here. Now one thing for this map is these 3 guys in the hazmat suits will always spawn here in the exact same position. So if you waltz in here as an agent with your shield on, of course, and you're seeing this, it's not gonna be that one, or that one. So if there's any others, just shoot it. Just shoot at the extra one. It's probably the alien unless they know of it already. But yeah, these ones, never suspect these ones. They're always there. They're guaranteed. They cannot not be there. And because pretty much all of B is open, you just walk straight up that ramp through this door, and if you still have nothing by then, you'll know they're at C by the time you're here, because you'll have a light scan. It'll be like yellowish. And something to be careful of is don't be scared if they are at C when you drop down here, because it will spike super red when you go down these stairs. Just don't worry about it. They're just in the generator, okay? It's super sensitive to elevation. So if they're directly below you, it's only going to be like a bright yellow. It's not going to be orange or anything. So you got to be careful and watch out about that one. And C is a really big generator too. Not quite as big as the B on excavation, but still pretty nice. Really cramped in here, so it's a good spot for the aliens to go as well. And if they're on the generator and you know it, you can get pretty far away from it and still shoot at the generator, which is nice. So you don't really have to worry too much if they're at C. It's pretty easy as long as you still have your shield. But yeah, next row.
Generators activated.
Okay, for the
Scanning
first
for
route on
aliens.
this map, we're going to go straight up these stairs and head to B. Now, we're going up here, of course. Yeah, I know the agents are gonna find us easily, but that's not the point. The point is that you could put a body like right there, or maybe a body right here, possibly in here if they see you do it, and that, you know, do that kind of stuff. And as they're walking in here, because the aliens always get here first. The aliens can get to right about here before the agents get up those stairs. So they can do a lot of nasty stuff. And if you're good enough at making the pose for it, you can pose as the person that will always 100% guaranteed chance spawn that's right here. That's just like walking up to the door. So if you're good enough at posing to be that one, then 100% you could do that. But alternatively, you can also get a better view on the agents and where they're going from right here. And they can shoot through this. They can shoot through this. They can stand over there and shoot through this at you. You can very much die by getting shot through these
Alien
kinds of
scan
holes.
is halfway
You can
complete.
also get shot by those little grates that you can see right there. That's an opening for them to shoot you from. There's usually 3 lab coat ladies here that spawn like right here always in a group talking together. And there's usually 3 hazmat suits or whatever, or like a businessman talking in this group of 3 here. And then there is this really nice spot right here that you can hide in. Pretty much impossible to know you're here unless the agents are looking at you from right there, of course. But other than a couple of the other super good players and obviously people watching this video, they're not going to know that you can see and shoot through that hole. Alternatively, you could take the generator. What I would do is I would place a body down right here, for example, and then just take this one maybe, and just do that. Because the first instinct is not going to be to look at the pose and how perfect it is. It's going to be off, yeah, but by the time they realize that you're draining the generator and this one looks a little bit off, you can dash and kill them. Even if they have their shield on, maybe you could just huddle under them and stuff. And geez, this is one really long route. But it leads you to a nice escape route right here. And there's another route the agents sometimes come through, but I wouldn't recommend it ever for the agents.
Scanning complete. Aliens located.
Yeah, of course. And then there's some stairs down here that you can go through and drain C if you want to, or just run all the way around the map again if you're trying to run from the agents. Also, I didn't say this in the last route, but you can shoot through this as well, just like at A. You can kind of get through, like, inside the generator room itself, like right here, though. But other than that, you can't really get past it. But you can get a nice vantage point and see if there's any buggers hiding over here. And if you can tell by just looking at their pose, or maybe you have them ghost or whatever, you can see and shoot them like through this and stuff. You can even get to that door. Just a very nice spot in general. And that's pretty much it for this route. And the other routes are just going to the other generators, but I'll show you that now. You can drop down here, of course, and it leads you to the tomb.
Generators activated.
For the next route, we're
Scanning
going
for aliens.
through this little break in the wall here, leading to A. Now there is this little corridor here that the aliens can pass through if they want. Even if you're trying to be like scummy about it, which I mean, by all means, whatever gets you the win. You could place a bunch of bodies blocking off either of these entrances, and even like in and inside and through it, to prevent the agents from ever getting you. But that one's a bit harder to pull off. Right here, there's a very nice spot because if the agents are like, cause they'll be above you, and then if you're not in the generator room at A, then they'll come down through here, right? And of course, they're gonna probably look this way first instead of this way, and you could camp right here, which is really nice. And of course, you can go actually to the generator It is a pretty small generator. And they can shoot you from a lot. They can shoot you from here, I believe, if they get the right angle. They can shoot you from here-ish, and of course everywhere else inside the generator room. They can't shoot you from over here though, because it just won't allow it for that angle. So over here is a blind spot for them. Of course they can still see inside the room, so if you're over here then you're clean. But they'll still probably know where you are.
Alien scan is halfway
Right here,
complete.
I wouldn't hide here ever. They can still shoot you in pretty much all of this room unless you're all the way back here. So unless you're back here, they can still shoot you in from through that hole. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. Over here's the elevator, which is nice. It's a pretty good spot to go if you're an agent. If you're up there, you can drop down here and obviously see where the aliens are from there, especially if you know where they are already. But yeah, this one's pretty dangerous. I wouldn't really go here unless you have like a trap or a plan in mind that you're gonna do. But I mean, it's not the worst option. The worst option, I'd say, is going straight through the middle. Alright, so many times I've seen aliens just open these doors, waltz straight in, and then I just shoot them instantly. Because it's the biggest room on the map aside from alien spawn. So it's super dangerous. Just don't be here. This place sucks for the aliens. Don't be anywhere near this room unless you're trying to go around and up through there.
Generators activated.
Alright, now the objectively safest route on this map is to go up here and enter generator C, because you can get here super quickly, and assuming the agents are also taking the best route for them, they're gonna take a while to get here. Don't close this door, okay? All the time I hear you guys close this door, and then I know you're here, so I'm just gonna rush all the way straight over to C instantly. Don't interact with the doors unless you really want the agents to get you. Or maybe you have a trap in mind. You can go up here. This one's pretty nasty. I've never really been killed by this much, but it can definitely still work on some people that don't know it exists. Back here is pretty clean because if you have like a couple bodies, like one there, let's just take this one, and one here, it's pretty difficult for the agents to get to you. But of course, if you slip up, and I have seen it happen, if you slip up, you can get killed here still. But this is really safe because if you're about to get it and the agents are close, you can finish it off. Or if you don't want to risk it, you can just run away and through here. Really fast and easy escape route. Watch out for this. They can still shoot you through this. They can just stick their hand straight over, and it's just super easy to get you still. So be careful of that, because of course the agents could still come this way themselves and go that way to get you into the generator room as well. There's a door right here. This one's pretty neat. This one's a weird room. I don't like it much, but it definitely has its uses. This one's a bit confusing. There's not really a right or wrong thing to do if you're in this room here, because there's just so many weird things you can do. You could hide back here if you know they're coming in through that way. You could hide back here, which I wouldn't do. It never works, like ever. But if you really don't want them to know you're coming through this way, don't open that door. Just go back and then up these stairs. If you open this door, it leads you straight to the other side of the generator. So they can also just get you pretty easily. If they're going the typical route, they go down those stairs, they come through here, they hear you escape through that door, they're gonna come and get you very easily. So just go up these stairs and you're back here, and this door leads you straight to B. But if you don't want to go to B because that's obvious, you could run all the way over to A, which would take the agents obviously a lot longer than the aliens to get to. If you must make an escape, I would go to A. If you're in a rush and you're in a need for time, then just go to B. There's nothing wrong with it. It's still a good spot to be. But overall, yeah, I think that's it for this route, and I think that's it for this map actually. So on to the lab.
Generators activated.
Okay, and we're on lab, and now for such a surprisingly small map of lab, it has quite a few good routes for the agent to take. I would just avoid the middle spot, because if they go up to B and you don't notice, then they can just drop down and get you really easily, unless of course you plan for that. But for the first route, we're going up here. This is usually the route that I always take, because it gets you the high ground really quickly, and if you hear them at the elevator, well, then you're ready to bombard them with bullets here. And if you don't hear them through there and you hear them through that elevator, or if it's like yellow right here, or like it's getting pretty red, you'll know they're coming through here, and that's pretty easy to shoot at, so that's nice. And then up here, of course, you also have the stragglers. Never ever hide in that thing as an alien. Terrible idea. I'm always gonna shoot at you. I mean, come on. It's broken, stuff's flying everywhere. Obviously, the alien's not gonna stay in the tube. They can move around freely. These guys are only stuck because they're still captured. So, yeah. But it's a really nice vantage point. You can even get another good view here that lets you see like pretty much the whole room. And of course, I just fell down on accident, but that's fine. Pretty much just leads you over to A. And then after I'm here at A, I'll scan A. If they're cheating over there, I'll glitch my hand through the wall and shoot at them. But I'll drop down here, I'll just run straight to C, because if I know they're at B, then I would have stopped over there and I just would have gone across to B. If I don't hear them here and I know they're not at B, right, then I'll know they're draining C, of course, if that's going off. So if it's not going off, then I'll just check out the alien spawn, because, I mean, you won't believe how often aliens are just AFK sitting at spawn or trying to do something dumb, like in between these stairs and stuff. It's so stupid sometimes what they'll do. They'll just hide at spawn waiting because they think it's hide and seek. It's not hide and seek, it's prop hunt. If you're trying to hide from the agents, well, you're playing the game wrong. C is a pretty nice generator to be at for aliens. And agents, really. Probably a bit better for agents though, because if you just have your gun and you're standing at this doorway, it's pretty close to impossible for the aliens to escape, at least without you knowing it. And it's pretty safe for the agents to breach it too, because right here, they're out of dashing range. You can shoot at them a couple times. If you jam your gun, they'll probably still kill you unless you have your
Scanning
backup.
complete. Aliens located.
But if you have your backup standing like right here, then you're fine, right? You just shoot at them, just keep shooting randomly until you get it. Or unless you're like awesome and super cool at everything you do like I am, you'll know which one it is anyway. Or you could just dump your Gauss there, use it to scare them away. It's better than jamming your gun and dying at the very least. So yeah. But you can, as soon as you get down here, you can just chuck your Gauss up there. Or if you're coming in through this way because you went in the other route that I'm about to go through, you could toss your Gauss in there. This spot right here, I see so many aliens going into this spot. Super dangerous. Even though it's really cramped, it's shockingly really open, right? This is the biggest hallway, I think, other than in the custom map Pagoda. But yeah, this one's pretty sucky for the aliens to be in, because it's super hard to escape. Although it is really hard to escape, usually whenever I've gotten to go to C, I usually either win or get a draw, because it's not that hard to get, and the agents are usually spending their time around the other two generators rather than right next to the alien spawn, which I'm not sure why. But very nice route to take. On to the next one. Okay, now for the next route, we're going to go, and this one's pretty conditional. This one, I would only go this way after you've known that the aliens are winning and they've gone to be every single round so far. You can go up here, and for the first time ever, actually, you can get to the main room before the aliens can. So that's really nice. You can get here before the aliens can ever get to like right there. So you're good. You just go up the elevator. You know they're coming up here. You heard their elevator go up as well. You just put your shield on. Of course, way earlier than I did. But you put your shield on and just start sniping them. You'll probably know which one they are. They're not going to be able to have much time to focus on their pose. And if they're just body blocking, then you can just step back here and have your teammate like to the side helping you. Like they can shoot through this as well to get another good spot if they're camping like right there. But if you have your shield on, you can just start sniping at them. Just go ham. You're all good. That's pretty much it for this spot. But if they actually didn't go here and you went up that elevator, then you're right here at C anyway. So you can just be here really quick if you're here. Alright, because if they're all the way in the back in that corner inside that little hole, right, you won't scan them until you're about here. But if you've gone there and it's still green, then you know they're not there. You could just hang out near their spawn a little bit, or I would just go through that door, right? This one doesn't really matter too much. This way's slower though. Yeah, and then you can go through up into A, which is really nice.
Scanning
And then
complete.
that's pretty much it for the
Aliens
agents,
located.
and there's not much for the aliens to do either. So let's just jump into that one.
Generators activated. Scanning
Okay,
for
now for the
aliens.
first round, just always, every round pretty much, for the first route for alien team, just go through here, and this is my personal favorite because it's really fast, takes you to a generator. Yeah, it's loud, but even against some pretty high level players, like level 80s plus, right? I've seen a couple prestige players lose to this place as well. Very nice spot here. You can get here way faster than the agents can if they're going the main route there. Of course, they're not usually going to go through here. If they do, then it's probably because they're bad at the game. It's super easy to camp this spot if they're taking their sweet time going here. So you're all good. But yeah, if they're going through this middle spot like I told you to never do because it's super dangerous, they can just drop down on you, kill you super quickly. If they know you went through that vent, they can just drop down carefully and tag you through the vent. I've seen a couple really fast kills through that vent. One spot that's really neat is right here. If you crouch, you can get in behind these boxes. You can't really see anything here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can't really see much, but it's just void for as far as... I'm just walking forwards. I don't know how far I'm going. Oh, it's pretty far actually then. Right there.
Alien
This
scan
is
is
the
halfway
wall.
complete.
And then this is the side. This is how narrow it is. And then if you put a body right at the entrance, you're good. Right, for pretty much a while. I've never lost to it though, and I'm pretty sure you can maybe shoot through those boxes. I haven't tried it. But every time I've seen them do it, I've just been able to kill them like instantly. So I wouldn't go back there personally myself ever. But this is a pretty nice spot, and if you know they're going the other way instead, you could go just drop down through there, come this way, and then go up to their natural route, especially if you're feeling trapped inside of B when they've gotten to you from this this corridor up here, this little link between generator A and B. If they're going through there and you can't really deal with them, you can drop down through here before they do. Either go through that tunnel. I wouldn't do that. Just go straight through here, which is nice. And then you can just go the typical agent path, get behind them. Very nice. Next route.
Generators activated.
Alright, for again,
Scanning
like
for
the second
aliens.
route only really that I would take is either through here and up this elevator. You can go up this elevator, go across there if you need to get to where the agent's path usually is. You can get there faster than they can as well. But you can come through here, especially if they're doing the typical route. You can get here really close behind them very fast too and go for a kill or something. None of the routes are really focused on the generators specifically, mainly because the generators kind of suck. Something to watch out for is this window here has no collision. whatsoever. They can shoot through this all they want if they're at spawn and they see you here. If they're camping at spawn, never camp at spawn. Just a bad idea. It doesn't work ever. If the aliens know you're camping at spawn, they're just gonna drain the generators, sneak up behind you, zap you, dead. Can't do anything. But yeah, they can shoot through this. Very nice. They could like snipe you down there. Yeah, you can get pretty far into the wall before it'll. Yeah, you're clear. You're just done for here. And they can also get you through here as well. There's a nice hole here. And that's pretty much it for this map. Let's go on to, well, not the routes you should take,
Scan is halfway complete.
but like other stuff. Not routes you should take, like don't do routes, just like other stuff. You get it.
Generators activated.
Alright, and I just hit randomize for this one, but we are on excavation now. Never go up through there, okay? Terrible idea. It takes so long to go through there. Anyways, for tips and tricks, Agent Shield, hold A to activate it. Very easy. If ever you know an alien is camping behind a corner, or they're in a room, or maybe they're gonna run away, just put the shield on, man. Just put it on. It's better than at least dying, right? If you die, then you're of no use to your teammate anymore. So, especially if they're across the map. If you guys split up, then you're done for, right? This is a huge map. If you're all the way across the map from your teammate, they might not even be able to get you in time if you're on the complete opposite end. Especially if they don't know the maps very well and they don't know what the fastest way to get to you is. The next thing I'm going to say is you only get one shield per round and you only get one Gauss per round. They're gone from this little thing. They don't regenerate ever. Even if you reload your gun, you won't get either of them back. You only get 6 shots as well. If you shoot one of these guys, your gun will jam. For a pretty long time. So if an alien puts a body down in front of you, you're cooked, man, if you jam your gun. At least unless you're far enough away and you still have your shield. If you do jam your gun and an alien's coming at you, right, put your shield on as fast as you can if you still have it. If you don't, then try to drop down somewhere because it'll take them longer to like focus and realize you've dropped down. So that could be a good opportunity for you to actually manage doing something. Alternatively, these red squares here that show up right there as well, those are the generators, of course. The first one means that they're tackling their first generator. The second one here means, let's get into the light. The second one means they're taking their second generator, and their third one means that they're taking their second and third, or first, second, and third at the same time, because that one can only go off if all 3 or 1 is drained and 2 are being drained currently. So all 3 are flashing, they're taking all 3 generators. Get split up. Just split up. There's only 1 alien at each. They're at a disadvantage. Just split up, right? One of you goes to 2, and then just let them take the 3rd generator if you don't have enough time. You can sacrifice a generator, it doesn't matter. That's pretty much it, other than just make sure you're remembering how much ammo you have. And whatever you do, don't panic, alright? If an alien dashes at you, and they're going side to side, just wait for them to get closer so you don't have to move as much, and then just shoot them. Very easy.
Scanning
And
complete.
when your
Alien
agent
located.
advantage happens, you get infinite ammo. What I did just there is normally it will reload your gun and you won't be able to shoot for a little bit after you reload, so watch out for that. And it won't reload your gun if you're already at full ammo. It takes longer, of course, the less ammo you have in your gun. But if you switch to scan mode right before agent advantage happens, you won't get the reload, but you'll still keep the infinite ammo, so you won't jam your gun, right? So it's much better than not being able to shoot for longer if you're in a pinch and you don't realize you're about to get advantage. If you can notice that fast enough, pull your scanner out and then put it back right as you get it, you won't have to deal with the reload timer at all. Because normally you just won't be able to shoot. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, other than I'd say as soon as your scanner gets to be like reddish, right, especially if you're here, right, if you're here and your scanner's going off, take your gun out by the time you get here, right? You'll be able to scan them from over there and from that cave, right? So if your scanner's going off and you're here, take your gun out as soon as possible. You can shoot them through here, or if they're going through that way, you can shoot at them. Just pointing your laser at where they could go is enough to make the aliens stop in their tracks. So if you know where they're behind that big stone pillar.
Generator shutdown sequence initiated. Power down in 30 seconds.
Okay, and if you're pointing your gun over there and you know they're behind that big stone pillar,
Warning.
they're not gonna move
Generators will cease
at all,
operation
right? They might go that
in
way,
20
but
seconds.
they know that you can see them through there, obviously. But you just point your gun through there, right? And as you get closer, point your gun that way, of course. Now, that took quite a while, and I think that's pretty much it.
3, 2, 1. Mission aborted.
Draw, of course. Yeah, obviously. Okay, now for the last bit of advice, I'm just gonna say this. Camp the fuck out of everything. Camp it so hard. Camp everything you see. Literally everything. Camp, camp, camp. Alright, if you kill an alien, right? Especially if it's the only good player on their team, or maybe it's just one of them, just stay at their body, point at every direction, just camp their body. Alright, if they're dead, right, there's no reason to leave their body, because if you kill them and they revive, there was no point in you having killed them. Additionally, if you are tackling a few aliens, right, like 2 aliens, right, and you know 1 generator is being drained, just let them drain it. It's not the end of the world. They still need to drain an entire extra generator. If you can kill those 2 teammates, it's going to take them 45 seconds to even just drain the generator that they're going for next. It's just going to give them a speed boost. That's it. So just let them drain it. Just sacrifice the generator. Not that important. You only need to worry if there's 2 being drained. That's when you need to actually just go to the generator, right? If you're at generator A over there, if you're at generator A and you see that it's green and there's 2 generators going off,
Alien scan
just
is halfway
go
complete.
to 1 generator. Don't split up. Just go to 1. It doesn't matter. Just go to the singular generator and then like maybe put a Gauss there after you've dispatched the aliens, because at the very least you'll know if they're trying to take it again and you'll be able to get there faster. Other than that, that's pretty much it for agent team tips. So on to alien team. Okay, now for my tips and tricks as alien team, I'm going into an actual match just so you can see how it works better. All I can say really for alien team is to not do what that guy does, alright? Until you hear the agents, there's no need to freeze, okay? You should know the maps well enough, like they're doing down there. They're just freezing constantly. They do it all the time. There's no reason to do it, right? Just don't freeze. I'm gonna try to show you how to body block properly, and you're gonna have to get used to the timing of dropping the alien. You're gonna have to get used to the timing for dropping your bodies down, right? Just like that. You see? If you time it properly, they'll see you, and then the first responder, they won't even think to do anything else. They'll just shoot it instantly, okay? So just get the timing right for that, and also, additionally, get really used to dashing instantly as well, like freezing and then
Generators
dashing.
activated.
You don't have to wait to fully disguise to dash. Just press the button and the trigger at roughly the same time, like 1-2 kind of thing, like 1-2, like hit the A button and then the right trigger or the left trigger depending on if you're left or right-handed. I don't really know how it works, so I might be wrong about that, but you know, just get used to pressing the button really fast, okay? Now, what I have to say about the generators, oh, the generators, they are surprisingly useless in this game for the aliens. There's not really much use in taking them. Unless it's a really close match, they can be really useful. I would only ever try to get the generators if you know you're gonna lose if you don't. So if it's like a really close game, then take the generators. And then get good at hiding behind the bodies. You can see the agents move, and as they get closer to you, just like that, you can dash at them. That's why you want to get the timing good for your dash. And then get good at like zigzagging behind the bodies, which can help so much. If you can do that really well, then you can probably win so many more rounds and matches just from doing that alone. Just placing the body down in front of the agent, super nice, super useful. Do it always, okay? Now for the next tip, it's kind of like parkour-ish. It's like you're going from, yeah, let me show it this way. You're going from one body to the next and hiding behind it. That was actually a perfect example of it. I was hiding behind that body, I dashed to here, I hid behind this one, and then I went for him when he jammed his gun. Just do that, alright? If you could use the bodies in front of you that you already have, if you can, which should be really helpful. And that's pretty much it for Alien Team as well, other than just at the start of a round, make sure you're going somewhere. If you're not going somewhere at the start of the match, then you're not doing anything useful. You gotta participate well for your team by just being somewhere. Just make your distance really far. Just get as closest to the agents as you can at the start of every round. Or if you're not too sure what you're doing, just hold down the Y button and search for the highest level player in your lobby and just follow them. Don't follow too closely behind them, of course, because if you're following like in front of them too, you're just in front of them seeing where they're going and then you're going, you're gonna die and then you were useless that round. Just make sure you're safe while following them. I, as a high level myself, obviously, 4th highest level in the game right now, it's really annoying when I have a teammate that's just across the map draining a generator or something. Sure, I guess it's useful to take the generators, but the generators kind of suck. They really suck. They're terrible. Okay, so something you'll see me do in so many of my videos, all of them pretty much, is when I hear the agents are nearby, I'll do this. I'll drop my disguise in front of me as a shield. And normally people call that body blocking, and a lot of newbies say that it's very cheap to do. But when the agents are so significantly powerful compared to the aliens, there's no damn reason why I shouldn't do it. They can just waltz up here with their gun in hand, put their shield on by holding down the A button, and then shoot at me. I'm gonna put down a bunch of bodies because it's the only thing that's really defensive about the aliens. I would highly recommend, highly, to just go for the kill in every situation. Or if the advantage is about to happen, then you can wait for them to reload, because when they're reloading, their gun can't shoot. And then that's an opportunity to strike. Something you need to know for taking generators is that when you're hiding, if you're hiding while on the generator, it takes significantly longer to drain it. Okay, now we're on lab, and for a basic rule of thumb, the aliens hate the big rooms like this, okay? Mannequin team should never really be hiding out in a big room like this, because that's where the agents really, they really prosper in the big rooms, because they can see everything around them. There's no really sneaking up on them without them noticing you, because they just do a 360 and you're spotted, you're cooked. There's nothing to hide behind in these big rooms. Alright, now for my last tip that I'm gonna give is for both teams. And it's for when an alien is in close proximity to an agent, okay? Say there's an agent... Okay, let's make this a better pose. Say there's an agent right here, posed like that or something, right? And I'm an alien coming up behind him. There's gonna be a really loud whooshing sound for both teams that's gonna be in their ears, so that both teams know that there's an opponent nearby them, like really close to them. to the point where both teams are in lethal proximity to each other. So if I'm just an alien hiding out by a corner, I don't want the agents to know where I am, right? I'll maybe step a bit farther away from the wall so that the whooshing sound won't happen. And if I'm an agent and I hear that sound, I'm gonna know exactly where the alien is now. So I'll go into Imagine and see if I can't have that audio play for you guys. Now, I'm just gonna have this one as me not talking, just showing you what an audioless match looks like.